How can you show graduate schools that you are a fantastic researcher ready to tackle challenging and exciting research questions? One way is through writing a research statement. I'm Madison Edwards, and today we're going to talk about how to show graduate schools that you're a badass researcher. First, let's talk about what should be included in a research statement. A typical research statement provides a description of your previous, current, and future research. This statement is typically 1 to 2 pages, and your audience is likely other professionals, for example, other scientists or other chemists for me, but likely not people in your specific field of research. It is also possible that you will not have a research statement, but you will describe your research within a statement of purpose. Either way, the following advice should be helpful. For each research experience that you describe, whether it is past research or current research, you'll want to include the following: a description of the field you work in and the questions within that field. What was your specific goal? How did you accomplish this goal? Or how did you attempt to accomplish it? What were your results that you obtained, if you obtained any results? What are the implications of these results? What questions did your results lead to? Or if you did not obtain the results you expected, what questions do you now have? Are you interested in pursuing any of these new questions? And if so, how are you doing that? You will also want to indicate any future goals for this research project. How are you going to pursue these future questions that you have? And if it is common in your field, if you have a research advisor, you might want to list who you worked for. Additionally, if you have any publications or if you presented at conferences, this is excellent and you should definitely list it. For future research, there are 2 forms of research. There's the near future and there is further future. So for the near future, this would be any research you're continuing at your undergraduate university or elsewhere in the time you have before graduate school. However, for further future research, it would likely be good to mention the kind of research that you want to perform in graduate school or in your future career. How will the research that you're doing now prepare you for the research you want to do in graduate school? If you're not staying within the same research field, that's totally okay. I was in organic and physical analytical chemistry in undergrad, and I completely wanted to switch to biochemistry and biophysics, and that is fine. I simply explained how my previous research experience impacted my decision to pursue graduate level research and why I was now interested in biochemistry. If you would like to talk about how graduate school would prepare you for your future career, that is a fantastic idea. How will the research that you intend to pursue in graduate school prepare you for your future career? One really important piece of advice is to weave specific examples throughout your statement that demonstrate examples of your success, your ability to overcome obstacles, your problem-solving abilities, your critical thinking skills, your leadership skills, your ability to play as a good member of a team, all these, etc. These examples are so much more powerful than simply stating, I'm a hard worker or I'm a team player. Anybody can say there's something. It is way more powerful to demonstrate it using specific examples as proof. For this, I highly suggest using I statements. Clearly point out what it was that you did. If you don't feel very confident or are unsure of what you've contributed, speak with a trusted colleague or friend, someone who's familiar with your work and who you know will build you up. Chatting with them can be a great way to remind yourself of all the accomplishments you may have simply forgotten. Let's look at 2 specific examples that could be included in a research statement and include I statements. In this first example, I am trying to demonstrate my ability to overcome obstacles even if the first attempt was unsuccessful. After replicate trials to assure my results were consistent, I concluded that CPC had no significant bacteriostatic or bactericidal properties and therefore paused to evaluate my experimental design. I performed background research, including literature review and discussions with other researchers, which led to 2 hypotheses that I proposed explaining why CPC failed to prevent bacterial growth. In the second example, I am describing my persistence in research, which eventually led to success. By creating truncations to the protein sequence, I determined regions of the protein which are susceptible to degradation by proteases and regions which are difficult for the ribosome to translate. I then created 6 mutant versions of the protein through which I discovered a single point mutation which significantly boosted the protein's expression. Overall, your statement should demonstrate that you understand the projects you have worked on well, and this you will demonstrate through describing the background and significance of your projects. You want to show that you can clearly communicate your research well, and this you can show through the logical flow and clear explanations of your research throughout the statement. You want to show that you're hardworking and motivated through the specific examples that you write out. You want to also show that you're motivated and prepared to pursue graduate level research at the institution to which you're applying. This will be apparent if you talk about your previous research and you describe professors which you would like to work for at the institution to which you're applying. And finally, remember that you are a badass researcher. I made this little sign for you all. You're a badass researcher who deserves to go to graduate school. There's a reason that we call you all-star students. I hope you found this helpful.